it's important if you're going to get some work done on your home, your house, your biggest investment, you have somebody that really cares about the community. And we've got an expert here who's going to talk about this and give us their breakdown about what they like about the St. Louis community and how they've been involved here with their family. His wife, born and raised 5 generations here. Is that right?
Yeah, our kids are the 5th generation.
5th generation. Stay tuned for more, everybody. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Welcome, everyone, to the Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, Carter Rethers, Cardinal Cowboy. We put the hat on. You've seen it. We put that on usually about halfway through the show, but my little picture there. But familiar with what I try to espouse, we were approached years ago by a major network, the one we're on right now, and they said, hey, we like what you're doing in the community. Highlight some leaders. So we said, what would you like me to do? I said, I'll highlight some leaders and people that are making a difference. Smaller businesses that they don't blast all kinds of big-time advertising after. But if we just have a sit-down, let them explain who they are, talk about their business, then you can become more familiar with them and learn a little bit about the businesses that are impacting our community. With that, I've got one of my favorite questions that, and it ties right into it because small businesses seem to do such a good job of taking care of their customers, but they see the mistakes that are often made. If you had to name 1 or 2 mistakes the average homeowner makes when they've either gone through a storm or they need a new roof, what's the biggest mistake they make when making that decision?
Oh, yeah. It's kind of stacked against them for a lot, right? A big storm comes in, especially last year. All these contractors from all over the United States came in and descended upon us for a while. And one of the unfortunate things that we see then is like if that storm's in March, we start getting a lot of phone calls from people in September saying like, hey, somebody put on my roof and I can't reach them anymore and I don't know where they went, right? They disappeared off into the abyss. So one of the biggest things, right, is just not going with somebody local. We're very lucky, like in this region, there's a lot of really good roofers, but going through and making sure that you're finding the right one, even I'll say the best one, is really, really an important step to do and making sure that you're vetting them appropriately.
Yeah, but back to, like you said, somebody they can easily, gosh, I'm thinking of a buddy of mine who I'm not going to name. Now, he'd been in the industry for a long time, but he was just like Carter. He was trying to convince me to come work with him. He goes, you don't have a truck, but you can get a ladder. Yeah. And I got one of these real compact ladders or whatever. I was like, okay, I'll play along for a minute. I didn't get involved, but he ended up buying the ladder from me. It was one of these real foldable.
The telescoping ladders. Yeah, well versed.
It was nice, but that's what you have to watch out for because so many people they can just be like, man, I've lifted a few 2x4s. I've held a picture frame or two. Now I've become a roofing guy. Now, there's so much that goes into it, and you start talking about flushing and ventilation and all the stuff you'll talk about. The Owens Corning service and the warranty you guys provide is really nice for people too. If you missed that first show, everybody, we did a whole half hour here with our leader in the community here, somebody who's been doing this for a long time now. But you can see Scott has been around for a while, and with a competitive sports background and being associated with a wonderful company as part of their franchise, he'll make sure that this stuff gets done right and get those installs done with the right warranty. And check out that full half hour that we already recorded because lots of good information there. But all of our interviews are available on our YouTube channel. Very often our guests end up having a copy to put on their social media and their websites too. So let's talk a little bit more about it though. Residential and commercial, obviously big percentage can be done. There's work in both of those fields. What do you like about each, and what do you focus on?
Yeah, we started this really focusing on the residential side. That's where the majority of our calls come from. When we're talking about people in the community, that's usually what they're asking us about. But what's happened as we've grown is like we're getting more and more people that own a house who are also owners of a business. And they keep asking us, hey, can you guys come out and do this? You did such a great job on our house. Can you come take a look at my business property? And that's when we started getting to commercial more and more, and we actually just expanded our offerings on the commercial side so that we can service more and more of those buildings all around. It's a completely different process than the residential roof.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we're growing on this the right way and not biting off more than we can chew. But now that we've completed our first handful of projects here, we're feeling really good and confident in being able to do this the right way at scale.
Yeah, one of the biggest problems a lot of businesses have, they grow too quickly, and then the service quality goes down. But you're making sure that's not the case, and as people, it's not even actually pursuing it, but people are kind of offering it to you. Hey,
Yeah.
I have a business too. You did a great job here. Can you help me with a roof for my business? But businesses have roofs too. Write that one down, everybody. Don't grow too fast, but go ahead and if people are asking for you, then you know you're doing a good job in the community. What do you like most about the St. Louis market? We talked a little bit about servicing it, but what do you like most about this area and the people that you're servicing in this area? As far down as Farmington and up
Yes,
Florissant?
one of the things I love is that when we help somebody out, I'm going to run into them again at some point.
Right.
A great example of this is like a few weeks ago, I was out at a farmer's market, right? And one of the vendors just yells from the, hey, you put on my roof a while ago, right? So I went by and talked with them, and they were helping out their relatives, and that's the kind of thing that I take pride in, right? It's like if we did that and we didn't do a good job putting on that roof, I don't think they would call in such a friendly manner, right? That could be a little more threatening.
Are you the guy that put our roof on? Yeah, no, it's nice to see that. Now, you're absolutely right, because and that's why I've get identified all over the place wearing my cowboy hat. But you better be doing good things to help people, or else it's a pretty tight knit community here, and they will remember.
Right,
My dad always
exactly.
made the comment to me. He says, "People, you may not remember somebody's name, but you'll remember how somebody made you feel, right? And if you feel good about that person because they did good work, they'll do great. But if not, and we don't want to be on that side of this, so obviously doing great work here to manage it. Scott's doing a great job to make sure that when they say hi, they're saying, "Hey, you did our roof.
Yeah.
Good job." That's got to make you feel good.
Sure does.
Any particular part of the region you've worked more in? You're saying you're expanding to Metro East, but you've got North County, South County, West County. St. Louis is kind of known as the high school version of where. What part? Ladue? Where do you? All over the place.
We do probably the majority of our work over here in St. Charles. Our office is over by 364-94, so a lot of people will see us on Google Maps there, and that's how we'll get a lot of that. But we get a lot of referrals down in that Wildwood area as well. And what's really interesting about the whole St. Louis metro is every little city neighborhood has their own different building code that they want to follow.
Right.
So we've gotten really familiar with some of the inspectors at some of these different cities, like up in Florissant's a great example, and know that process down extremely well now so that we can help out as many people up there as we can.
Yeah, to have the installation process in each zip code could be different because they have
yes.
different codes according to zip codes versus codes. But we're talking about building code and how you have to install it in drip edge. And I'm getting out of my
You're spot on. Yeah, I'll let you take the reins from here.
These things were not required 20 years ago, and now they are. So they've got to put that. You get upgrades many times when you have
Yep.
a new roof installed.
Yep, exactly. And even for some of these newer spots, like I live up in the Newtown area, and we'll get on there and do a bunch of roofs up in that part. And even though most of that development's about 10 years old, still a lot of things have changed a lot in the quality and type of materials that are available now versus even 10 years ago.
Yes, so materials do change, improvements, but having a good company like Owens Corning backing you too, they're on top of it to make sure that they're staying up with the good quality stuff. Tell me a time though when you had a client that was in a tough situation, and you knew that they kind of got left out on a limb. Maybe a contractor came through and then disappeared.
Yep.
You've talked about that already many times.
Oh, yeah.
But you had to help somebody kind of go out of your way.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get those phone calls from people, unfortunately, where contractor disappeared on them. They call us to come in and try to fix it. Or another one that we've had recently was, pulled out the heartstrings. Is like a recent widow, husband had passed away, and it was the first time she's taken on a housing project on her own. So she really wanted to have somebody that she could trust, knowing like this was the first time she'd done that. So we spent the extra time walking her through exactly what this whole process is, what we would do, also what we would not do on this project here, so that she was feeling really well taken care of, and we're not over-promising, deliverables that we can't bring. And she was so sweet and thankful for us at the end to help make this really stressful process easy for her. And that's something that our team takes a lot of pride in, and I think she actually is one of those 5-star reviews that are on there now as well that we see and we smile about now.
Well, that's great because so many people this is not what they specialize in, but they're looking at a potential $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 bill, and they need this fixed. Their house is essentially not livable, and water pouring in, and you want to make sure that somebody is doing a great job. What's a challenge you've had to overcome with regard to being a business owner? We always have hurdles. I mean, I'll give one I'll throw out because I don't do this often, but the computer we use to produce everything, blew up, stopped working. I had to go. You get distressful, anything like that, and you're like, okay, we came through this, and we're gonna make this work.
Oh yeah, that's you got to have that mentality of being able to persevere, because any given day there's going to be random things that pop up that you weren't expecting on that day. From tire getting blown out on site and can't deliver materials to 3 people calling out sick at the same time, and how do you shuffle and do that? One of the biggest things though for us was like when we were starting off, right, going from 0 to 1, that true startup mentality. Doing that is very, very hard. And then going from 1 to many is actually easier, I think. But when you're going through getting your first contract done in a new city and a new place, like being able to build up that trust with somebody so that they're trust and spend $25,000, $30,000 with you and know that you're going to treat them well, like that's very, very hard to do. And it takes a lot of work to do that, but it feels real good when you can go through and actually deliver it at the end.
Well said, yes, because there's so much starting up that new business. You're right, man. I'll never forget. Fortunate, the first guest I had was he's actually a pastor, Dave Rispoli. And he's like, I know what this will do for my business. He's a marriage counselor too, so he wasn't trying to sell the church. He was marriage counseling, and just to have that kind of trust of getting through that first show and doing everything. But yeah, that first roof, getting everything built, everything finalized, and you're paying really extra close attention to everything because you want it to be perfect, but making sure that you do follow all the steps to make that. How long did it get you before you had those first, I don't want to call it jitters, but the first little bit of anxiety about the first set of roofs?
I'm excited to see every roof that we put on still, and I know that there's going to be random things that I'll get a call about that we have never seen before, even though we've done some 650 houses, I think, at this point, right?
Wow. Okay.
We'll get something new all the time. But yeah, when we're starting off here, building up that confidence on our side as well, that we're doing this the right way, like we knew we'd hired people that wanted to do the right thing. And that's like one of the big things I think why we've been able to grow. Because if you have that and you enable them, they can help achieve that and take care of the customer the right way. So that hiring side helped that part be a lot, I won't say less stressful, but it helped us all come a little bit more at ease that we knew we were going to get to the right destination at the end.
Well said, yes, because it's a matter of, and I want to go back to some of that baseball background, or somebody who's been involved with a very competitive Major League Baseball. Here's another one. It's not the error that causes you to lose the game. It's how you respond to that error, right? There's going to be problems, but you just have to know you're going to get through it no matter what.
Yep.
And so unless there's like an asteroid coming at planet Earth, right? Maybe there are, but we don't know about them. But you're going to overcome this. You're going to get through it, and you'll be able to make it for some happy customers. Just as long as you persist. If you give up, then you're gonna lose.
Exactly.
But if you never give up, you'll get there.
It is so easy to want to just stay in bed that little bit extra here, be like, I'll deal with it tomorrow. But that whole, hey, get up, make your bed, start this day off here, start with something that you don't want to do. That's a really good mentality to have so that you are continuing to grow.
There you go. I like that one. Start off with something you don't necessarily want to do, but it gets you going and it gets the motivation. Hey, I've accomplished something already this morning, even if it's making your bed, whatever that is. Get motivated, get contributing and be productive. And then it's a mental psychology a little bit. We talked about when I overcame my coma, doctors were telling me, you're not going to be able to do this, you're not going to be able to do that through my parents. And I just said, no, I can keep doing it. But if you keep going, then you'll learn and you'll prove what you can. Maybe you couldn't do what you were doing before, but here you are, and you're going to do something that where you're supposed to be, where God leads you, if you will. Yeah. So I like the positive approach. You've got that big smile too here from Scott. He's always got that positive approach. We like that. With that, some more fun in our community. We get to enjoy a lot of different types of events. I'm going to make a minor update here because we do a lot of good fun in the community. But my buddy Nino is somebody that always kind of strikes me and appropriate here because he's just a positive kid who does a lot of fun stuff in the community. But if you ever feel like you're having a bad day, think about what Nino has overcome and is doing so much to enlighten and encourage and inspire other people. So with that, stay tuned. We'll be back here in just a minute. Giddy up.
Hey everybody, guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah. He loves baseball. Hey, he's all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow. Nino, how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. You know, now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer. Reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's bigleagues.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. So there we are, everybody, and some of the fun we get to partake, as we say, in our community here, and then sit down with leaders in our community that are really impacting the family here in St. Louis, and a new business that's emerging here, been around 3 years almost now.
Yeah.
And with a company that's been around since 2009.
Yeah, about 15 years now.
Okay. good stuff with all of that, and good to see leaders taking that on. But with that, magnetize your media. We talk about it here. This book has become very popular. It's the #1 seller on Amazon, everybody. But if you want to learn a little bit about how to magnetize your media, pick this up. I wrote the forward and introduction here. Yours truly. And we share with people a little bit about what it is. It's a card. Who else knows how to get the most attention from running around with their camera, putting stuff on social media? Well, it's pretty easy. We get about 500,000 people a month that we reach through our just little Facebook channel, and then we've got YouTube and all the other stuff. But tell me a little bit, Scott, how has technology changed the way you run business these days? And, back in the day when you were doing this with Major League Baseball, they were kind of on the edge there, but you've seen what big television can do to help.
The whole switch into technology is awesome, and I love being an early adopter on a lot of this. One thing that we're using actually today now is like, in the past we'd have to go out and get hand measurements for everything going around the whole house. Now we've got this technology that we can go through and can get 8 photos going around a house, and it's a military-based technology, and it's going to put it into a virtual dollhouse. So now when somebody's like interested in what they want to see, they can say, I wonder what it would look like if my house was green. Can tap a button and do it. Or, you know what, I think I like blue a little bit more, like that. Maybe a black roof, and that's really cool that we're at that spot now. And that's only going to get better and better in the years to come.
Yeah, so right there on the spot, saying here's the color differentiation, we can just apply it across there and see what it would look like to have the different stuff. I thought you were going to say Eagle View, which I know allows you to just get the dimensions.
Correct.
But that's just to see that here's what the roof was without having to climb up on the roof.
Yeah.
Here you're talking about I can change it from black to gray to blue and give people a live preview of what it would look like.
Exactly. Well, I mean, back in the day when you're making those decisions on what you want your really beautiful house to look like, you're going off of a swatch that's about this big. Sometimes that doesn't always look like it on there. So the ability for us to go through and do that now and give people really more excitement to know what that end product's going to look like is something that's been really, really helpful for us.
Yeah, well, it's another benefit that I hadn't heard of that was being offered by anybody else. So something might be exclusive right here that you hear from Scott and his team there. Best Choice Roofing of Greater St. Louis. We're on top of everything. And when you're on a roof, you're generally on top of a whole lot of important stuff there to make sure that these things put together. You can find them at bestchoiceroofing.com/greater-st-Louis. I would bet you can go to the main site and just type in St. Louis and it'll take you to that region, or just do the search and it'll take you to that page specifically, but that's their page where you can get more information. And we're going to talk a little bit about how do people get started with you. But what is it that you think, where am I at here? I'm going down my list of questions, everybody, but yeah, what is one of the mistakes you see some of your competitors make? You've seen people come through and kind of throw things together, but what do you see often and you just won't let your customers make that mistake?
The most common thing is contractors that are going through and will overpromise whatever they need to do to get the sale, right? The temptations there be like, well, if I just say something that we don't really know here, we'll still get the money, we'll figure it out later, right?
Right.
Not really the way you want to be growing a business here, and the one that will suffer the most with that is going to be the customer. So one of the big things that we try to do is we try to educate that homeowner on what we do and why we do it, so that way if they want to go out and get multiple bids or compare different things here, that they know exactly why and how we got to that process, so that, if we're not the cheapest, which we probably won't be, you'll know why we didn't take shortcuts first. Maybe somebody else is in that process.
Yeah, if something's cheaper, there's usually something, and because of the materials, it's not like they have some magical potion to make it. You're going to use one of the big manufacturers. Owens Corning is one of the biggest out there, and the cost is going to generally be the same within reason. And just what kind of big cost reduction could there be? They're cutting something out.
Yeah, that's exactly. When you're putting on a roof or a exterior project, there are no shortage of ways that you can make shortcuts, and we don't have interest in taking them. So,
well, write that one down. Millions of ways you can make shortcuts, but we have no interest. I'm going to lean over here. No interest in taking them, everybody. That's a key one. I hadn't used that one yet. That's good. I like that. But yeah, do not take the shortcuts. Well, tell me the process. If somebody wants to hire you, you can see on the form behind us. I'm going to put this on the screen. But somebody might go to the website, call you directly, or fill out that form. It'll come right to you guys. You go take the process from there. What happens?
I'm still a fan of the old school. I like hearing people's voice and talking to them so they can teach
Might
you
give them a call back and say,
that phone call right there, that's 636-244-0588. That goes right to us. You'll talk with myself or Janae or the two answering that phone, and we love to hear exactly what's going on and how we can best help you. Yes, absolutely. You can fill out the form online here, message us on Facebook if you want. We'll respond to any and all of them. But at the end of the day, we still want to get a chance to talk with you and really understand what you're looking for and how we can best help.
Cool. So then once they've got a hold of you, what's the process? Then you schedule time to come out and see their property and then walk
I
through it?
very rarely talk with anybody who calls me up and says, yeah, come out in 2 weeks. Usually if somebody's calling me for some roofing job, they need me out there right away, right?
Right.
So we try to do same day or next day appointments
Okay.
for us. That's something that's really, really important for us.
That's
So
important.
that we can get out there, turn that around, make sure at the very least if you got a leak that we can patch that up temporarily until we can get the larger project completed.
Yeah, what you're talking about something there's obviously it might be a mini crisis, or it might be a
Yes.
bigger for somebody who's got a house with water pouring in or the roof half pulled off. This is a very stressful situation for them. But yeah, you're saying many times you can have a same day appointment or next day.
Yep.
And then how quickly can you normally be working on somebody's roof? And then how long does it take to get? You'll tarp it right away, I guess.
Yeah,
but-
we'll go through and we'll get that set up here. Anywhere from about 2 to probably about 5 weeks is what our average lead time is. And we make sure that we really stick to that. There was a while about a year ago where everybody was backed up from material delays that were coming in in the middle of COVID. And we've done a really good job of making sure that if we're signing something, that we can get it turned around quickly.
Yes, but it's a matter of just immediately put the tarp on, get it covered, so there's no more damage. But then you'll have some, and then within a couple months, a month and a half, a month and a week, you'll have everything back in order if things have gone well and they're not making some outrageous. But I want diamond laced
Yes, yeah.
shingles. No, if they don't have some extraordinary order, but they can count on the fact that
If I got to call someone up in Croatia to custom build something, yes, it might take a little bit longer. But I think for the most part, we'll be pretty good on that timeline.
yeah, your supply chain now with Owens Corning is pretty well nailed down. You've got
Yes.
everything at your resources available, so you can quickly get everything in play. They'll fit the delivery. Do you deliver on top of the roof sometimes?
Oh yeah, that's our preferred way of doing it. That just helps it really get these jobs done in one day instead of having it take multiple days. If we don't have to be the one to bring that up, I'm happy to do that and get them up there so we can get it done faster for them.
And then the crew will be assigned, and then they will be. How long is the normal actual installation once you've got all the supplies and everything put in?
90% of our jobs are done within one day.
Okay.
Right, there's some large houses out there here where it might go 2 days if we're looking at a really big project, but we try to do as much prep work as possible so that we can get that turnaround in one full day.
There you go, everybody. So they've got the process nailed down here. And if you've got a situation, and you might have been struck by some of the storms that recently came through, whether down south or Wildwood or wherever, or you have a historical issue where you had some damage and you haven't got it taken care of, have you come out before they do anything to take a look at it? Because some people will try to make a claim on their own.
Oh yeah.
And you want to make sure to walk through that process with them on the insurance side of it too.
Absolutely. It's like we want to give honest feedback to people on whether they should or should not look to present evidence here to make a claim. And the biggest thing for us when we're going through there is if somebody doesn't have enough damage where we would recommend that is like we will tell them you don't need us right now. And what's kind of crazy, the more people that we do that for, the more referrals we get because everyone's expecting the catch, right? Or somebody to,
Right.
to switch them into something. But us having that honest assessment with people has really actually been one of the ways that we've built our business by telling people that they don't need us right now.
Well said. And yeah, so often people are going, they didn't try to sell me. They
Yeah.
must be one of the honest guys. What's the biggest objection that people have for you, though? Is it how quickly? Is that really what
It used
when
to
you
be
nail it
out
down?
quickly. Now a lot of the confusion's going on and just the evolution of the insurance landscape and what insurance will cover versus not. And we're fortunate we've done enough projects now where we've seen most of it. And while we're there to help navigate the process to get that new roof, helping that homeowner navigate on when they need to talk with their insurance agent or adjuster on that versus the things that we can help out with is really where having that increased communication helps eliminate a lot of those headaches that would come up down the road.
Well said. 10 seconds or less. What ultimately gives you the most satisfaction about what you get to do here?
I love being able to see the community grow with us, and the fact that we get to put our fingerprint on that and help it grow, take a lot of pride in seeing that go.
Well said. Here you have it, everybody. Best choice roofing of Greater St. Louis. Our buddy Scott. Stay tuned. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.